Hello and welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. I remind you that we release a new video 3 times a week. Today we'll be working on a denim style skirt for Inga. This skirt will be made out of this bright fabric and not denim, but it will be made using the denim techniques. I'll show you the fabric and the piping to begin with, and then we'll take a look at the sketch. Look at this gorgeous jacquard. And the fabric will be complemented by this purple Japanese piping, like so. This piping will be added as a decorative accent along the pockets and yokes to accentuate the construction lines. It will be an amazing skirt. You can make this skirt using a cotton or a denim fabric. There are lots of top-stitch seams. It's an interesting design. Let's take a closer look at it. Let's put the fabric and piping aside. We don't need it right now. Take a look here. This is the yoke here under the hip line. It will be stitched to the zipper. We will be using a decorative zipper with gold teeth that will be finished with a facing that is concealed on the inside. This is the facing. Here are the top stitches. And these top stitches will go over the piping. The piping will go up to the zipper and the top stitching will be made here. You might ask why we choose such a design. That is because Inga has a lot of different skirts and we don't want to make a similar skirt all the time. She decides on the style on her own. It was not our choice. That was her choice. She came to us with the sketch. Denim style curved pockets will be finished with an accent piping in purple color. Here we will be adding a cute belt loop and a button, and lots of top stitching. A denim style yoke on the back with top stitching, and top stitching along the waistband and the hemline, like this. A slight trapeze silhouette. I will go over every detail so you understand what we will be doing. This is the skirt we will be making. The zipper, with exposed gold teeth right here, and the contrasting piping will make a nice accent to this cute fabric. It will be lively and cool. Now, let's look at the basic skirt pattern. This is a pencil skirt. It is narrowed from the straight skirt right here. There are some figure features. This point is higher. I always make it like that. I make it 2 centimeters lower along the side seam, and here, I always make skirts this way. In the past, we used to draw side seams higher. We don't make skirts like that anymore. Nobody does. They don't exist in ready-to-wear brands either, because people wear jeans a lot, and that has affected our body shape. Figures are not what they used to be. That's why now we draw the waistline this way, from the center back, slightly lower, and even lower towards the center front. So from the center back, the line goes this way. What I would like to say, according to a formula, if the sum of the darts here is 5 centimeters, then half of it should be here, but it doesn't work for Inga's body. This dart is only 2 centimeters. I always work with this pattern for Inga's figure. This dart is 2 centimeters. It's placed not in the center, but slightly to the side. If you have a tummy, there is no need to make darts here. Make a small dart. What I want to say, it's a denim style skirt, but my pattern is for a pencil skirt. The length of the skirt is 55 centimeters. I traced the pattern as a straight skirt. It goes straight down from the hips, and in addition, we will be constructing a trapeze out of it. A slight trapeze. You might think that in today's video I am showing you a simple skirt, but it's not as simple as you might think. We should pay close attention when working with darts. It's very important to do proper dart manipulations. We'll discuss how to do it for different body types. The first step is to lower the waistline by 1 centimeter, because it must sit slightly lower but not too low. That's why 1 centimeter. That's why I lower it by 1 centimeter. I cut it. As I said, I have used this pattern for Inga's previous garments. That's why I work with it confidently. When you have a pattern that fits you perfectly, you will enjoy this type of work. I lowered it a little bit. Can you see it here? Same thing here, slightly lower. Oops, don't move. Stay here. Lowered it here. Same thing on the front part. The next step is to close up the darts a little. This dart and this dart. I'm not going to close up the darts completely, just a little bit to make a slight trapeze silhouette. Now let's see how much we can close up. Don't close up the whole dart. Just imagine how much trapeze it will be. If I close up the dart, I don't need it. I spread it here for about 3 centimeters, like so. Here is the dart. Look at it. Here it is. Look over here. I don't need this right now. I spread for a trapeze silhouette for about 3 centimeters. As you can see, our dart becomes smaller. The dart's depth is only 1 centimeter now. First I cut a little from the top and closed it up a little. It's good. This dart is much smaller now. I spread it at the bottom and check. I can see it. It's 3 centimeters. It's exactly 3 centimeters. I make a slight trapeze silhouette. I'll add 1.5 centimeters to the side seam as well. We will be closing up the dart on the back part the same way. I do this to avoid sticking. It's slightly bigger than 1 centimeter. Now this dart is about 13 millimeters. Later we'll discuss what we do with it. I will add 2 more centimeters here for the trapeze look, so I'll add 2 centimeters to the bottom of the side seam. My pattern is ready for the next step.
Видите, как у нас все получилось, насколько уменьшился этот раствор от первоначального, да? И также в спинке. Сейчас сделаем раскрешение и будем работать.
Do you see what we've got? The depth of the dart became smaller compared with the original. Same thing on the back piece. Now I'm going to spread it and then we'll continue. If you have a narrow waist and wide hips, you can make a dart next to the pocket. As you can see, I spread here about 3 centimeters as well. This is an individual garment, not a mass production. That is why a dart located close to the pocket is acceptable. It's quite possible. Here is a small dart. Let's make an additional sweep. Adding another 2 centimeters at the bottom of the side seam here. Inga likes the trapeze silhouette. I add 2 centimeters here at the bottom of the side seam to nothing at the hip line. I mark the hip line here. It's just for your understanding. I marked the hip line everywhere, so the side seam will be adjusted from the hip line down. I will add a sweep from this point, and here I will add 2 centimeters. To this point, I won't add anything here. Look at our waist dart on the front piece. I need to eliminate it. This dart is tiny now, and it's not too difficult to get rid of it. It's about 1 centimeter. I'm going to ignore it.
мы немножко занизили.
I lowered the waistline and made a trapeze silhouette. I will simply ignore this dart. I remind you once again, if you have a narrow waist and wide hips, you can't ignore this dart. You need to make a dart close to the pocket. There are figures that ready-to-wear skirts never fit because of a narrow waist and wide hips. It's different in our case. I just ignored it. Well, it turns out that I am missing 1 centimeter. I need to make an adjustment here. So what am I going to do now? I add 1 centimeter here to the side seam.
Просто этот 1 сантиметрик прибавлю.
That was my original line. I added 1 centimeter here. So we are done with the waist dart. Lowered the waistline and added a sweep. This line is not smooth here. I will smooth it out. Lines must be smooth.
Теперь давайте строить. Какой-то тут получилось у меня острая какая-то деталь, вот как раз миллиметрик. Убираем. Следим за красотой линии.
What are we doing now? I need to draw a pocket. The pocket opening is located 10 centimeters from the side seam along the waistline.
И 5,5 глубина.
And 5.5 centimeters from the waistline along the side seam.
О, красиво. У нас же
I'll draw a nice pocket, a beautiful pocket with beautiful lines. Oh, it's beautiful. We'll also have a waistband here. That's why it's good that we lowered the waistline. You saw the waistband. This is our pocket.
перерисовываем. Верхний срез, карман и боковой.
Take 2 layers of tracing paper. Place it here, and I'm tracing the waistline, the side seam, and the pocket opening line. I can see everything through the 2 layers of tracing paper.
Вот так вот.
About 3 to 4 centimeters below the pocket opening, we start drawing the pocket. We are drawing the pocket section now, and you can make it any shape you want. I draw it like this. It extends 16 to 17 centimeters from the waistline, like so. I have 2 sections of the pocket now. You don't need to think about anything. This is the side seam. This is the waistline. This is the pocket opening. Don't try to make the pocket without this extension. Don't stitch the whole side of the pocket into the side seam because it will pull and will create discomfort. The pocket sections can take any shape, square, rectangular, absolutely any shape. I'm struggling here because I'm too lazy and don't want to pin it together, but you should pin it here because it's more convenient. So I've got 2 absolutely identical pieces.
Тянуть и создавать дискомфорт. Любой формы, квадратной, прямоугольной, вообще абсолютно любой. Видите, как я страдаю тем, что мне неохота сколоть. А вы так не делаете, вы скалываете. А то скажете, Ирина Михайловна научила. Вот у меня абсолютно...
I need to cut the pocket opening on one of them. The pocket opening must be cut off from the front part of the skirt as well. Do you know why I don't pin it? Because I can't find any pins here. I'm going to find them and pin it, like this. The front part is ready. This is our side front curved pocket. I did everything correctly, despite the fact that I was lazy and didn't want to pin it. This is the pattern for the pocket section of lining fabric. This front section depends on the fabric thickness.
Абсолютно все точно сделано, невзирая на то, что я ленилась и не хотела скалывать. Это у нас деталь подкладочная. А эта деталь у нас зависит от того, давайте я точнее сделаю. А эта деталь у нас зависит от того,
It can be made of self fabric, just like this, the whole section of self fabric. Here, everything will be out of self fabric. Do you see? But if the fabric is thick or denim, you don't need to make it all from the self fabric. Draw the pocket opening line here, something like this. 1, 2, 3. You make it all from the lining fabric and stitch a self fabric pocket facing here. And you will have the self fabric pocket facing. Any shape you like. That's what I want to do. I've got the main fabric here and the main fabric there, the lining fabric here and the lining fabric there, or here, the self fabric. So the side front curved pocket is done, the waistline is lowered, everything is done. So let's return to the back piece. I'm talking about the back piece now. A tailor's language is funny. As you can see, we don't have the trapeze silhouette here. You can see it is missing here, but I wrote it down here. The front part is ready. Next, the back part. I need to draw a yoke here. Now I'm going to tape it better. Let's construct the back yoke. Take a look here. Some like it when the back yoke is aligned with the pocket opening. And you can say, we should draw it from here. It would be fine, but it's not a must. I wouldn't bring all these seams together in one point. Here will be this seam, the piping, and etc. So I would make the yoke a little bit lower, about 6 centimeters from the waistline. I will erase it and write it down here, 6 centimeters. I'm going to draw it like this towards the center back. I will eyeball it. No, it's too low. It's very low. No, that's not right. So I drew the yoke. Here is the yoke. This is the center back, and this is the center back seam. Let's cut the yoke and talk about the darts.
Вот, отрисовали кокеточку. Вот у нас кокеточка. Тут у нас центр спины. Шов. Теперь отрезаем кокетку и поговорим о выточках.
It's simple. I just close up the dart, and you can see what shape our yoke has taken. The dart got transferred here. It means the fitting has not been changed. Let's talk about the remaining dart's depth here. There are 3 millimeters left here. We are going to ignore it. There are 7 millimeters left here. What do I suggest? I suggest we distribute this ease along the seam line. It follows the bias here, and we'll adjust the ease along the seam here. I mark it here, ease adjustment. We need this adjustment here for a perfect fit. This is the buttock here, and we need a perfect fit. Let's check. We have 7 extra centimeters, 7 extra millimeters here. If a couple of millimeters are left here once the ease is distributed during the basting and pressing process, we can just trim it. The back yoke is ready. I prepare the front part for constructing this big yoke. This is a very informative video. I have no time to look at the camera. Like this, I trim 2 millimeters here in advance. Just 2 millimeters. I don't like this line.
Вот так. Здесь пара миллиметров, я уже и так и срежу заранее. Просто буквально 2 миллиметра.
Well, I'm trying to figure out up to what point we need the zipper. I guess the zipper will be about 14 centimeters. We'll have the zipper up to this level. Now I am drawing it. The zipper teeth are exposed. That's how it's going to be. Why do I need it now? Because I need to understand from what point I should draw the yoke. The top stitch will run around the zipper like that. Our yoke should go from there. First I take a pencil. Do you see where my yoke is coming from? It's coming from out here. I have a concept. I can't draw it randomly, so I need to know the zipper placement. I think it can be here. Look, it's not far from the pocket. Well, let it go a little below the hip line, a little lower. I need to draw a perfect line. It needs to be up to my standard, and you will do the same.
Предполагаю, что где-то вот отсюда красиво, красиво, красиво. А здесь тоже, видите, вот она не так далеко от кармана. Ну, пускай уходит немножко вот так вот, чуть под линию бедра. Нет, круглей. Нет, не так, еще ниже, вот так немножечко. Но, во всяком случае, я сейчас добьюсь, чтобы эта линия мне нравилась. И вы будете делать точно так же. Линия мне должна понравиться, иначе я это не вынесу, когда что-то так мне не нравится. Так, вот отсюда примерно. И так вот кругленько, как на эскизе. Да, это мне нравится больше.
This line should be perfect. Otherwise, I can't rest. It should be rounded, similar to the sketch. Yes, I like it better. The center front, I marked it. I can cut it now. Make sure you don't cut the pocket sections. Do you realize how much work we had to do and how many nuances there are to consider? I like it.
Мне все нравится.
We will add the sweep here, and I wrote it down. I need to place everything beautifully so that everyone will be happy with my pattern.
Положить так вот, чтобы все были счастливы от моей выкройки.
The drafting process is done.
Сегодня так была увлечена
I was so busy drafting today that I didn't even have time to look at the camera. We've got to finish the work first, then we can have fun. It's time to say goodbye. Click the like button and share our videos on social media and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. All the best from Irina Mikhailovna and the rest of our team.